319-355, or excuse me, 319-335-1497. And you can also check the website for more details or to find that phone number again. And then as a new Hawkeye, you already have the University of Iowa email account. So it's very important that you start checking that email and you check that email regularly because you're going to start receiving a lot of messages. So again, just make sure you stay up to date with that account. And you can log in through your admissions profile on MyUI. So just make sure you're checking that out. Pre-orientation, so next, again, make sure you upload a photo for your Iowa One card. This card gives you access to buildings on campus and allows you to get access to a lot of student events and discounts for a lot of student events. You can choose your photo to put on your ID. There's just a few requirements, so make sure you upload that through your admissions profile again or on MyUI. Uploading your photo early before you arrive at orientation will just allow you to be able to pick up your ID card when you come. You don't have to worry about taking a photo on that day if it's too hot. You don't want your hair to get all frizzy, so just make sure you do that before you come. For the next step for you is just to take your placement exams before you register for classes. This will just kind of ease the process with if you know you want to take a chem test or you want to take a chem class or a math class. This will make it easier for you to see what you placed into. The scores for the exams do not count for credit, so just keep that in mind. It's rather just for your advisors to see like where you're placing again. And you want to make sure you're taking that before you come so we know when to place you, but a few days before so we know your scores and so they're recorded. Most students need the 4th level proficiency in language to graduate from Iowa. So if you're currently taking classes in a language or have them in the past and you plan to continue, you will need to still take the placement exam. Spanish, German, French are online exams, and then Russian, Latin, Chinese, Japanese, and Greek are offered in person. The first evening of orientation and American Sign Language would be arranged with the department when you're here on campus for orientation. We know a lot of people have questions about whether or not they need to take a placement exam, so feel free to call our office and we're happy to talk you through that situation individually and to help you decide what you do. The last item you need to complete before you attend an orientation program is just make sure you complete the first stage of Success at Iowa. This is required for all students and it consists of 5 stages spread over the course of your first semester. Stage 1 includes modules on the systems that you will use at orientation. These modules will set you up to participate in an orientation program and make sure you're ready to take classes. And we'll talk about the other stages in just a little bit. So another thing, we really want you to bring your families. When you come to orientation, we have a program designed just for them. They can meet different campus offices and learn how to support you as a student. So please bring them. It's a really fun program that we offer. And I think everybody's favorite part of orientation is our siblings program. So this program is for kids who are 9 to 16 years old. It takes place on day 2 and you must register for that before you come. So if you are interested in that, you have a little sibling, make sure you get them registered for that before they come because it's a super fun program.
All right, so moving on to the day of orientation, we just want to make sure that you're planning to arrive early. There are a few times to take care of there are a few items to take care of during check-in, and it is summer in Iowa City, which means a lot of road construction. So watch your email as driving and parking directions will be emailed to you a few days before the program, and we'll also have some staff members around campus in Iowa City helping to direct you from the parking garages to the Iowa Memorial Union. And also just remember that you can't park in a metered spot on campus. Instead, we just ask that you park in our parking garage so that we can give you an orientation parking pass. Check-in for the orientation program runs from about 10:30 a.m. to noon, and you'll get the materials needed for the 2 days at check-in, and we'll also review your schedule with you. You can see the full schedule on our website at newstudents.uiowa.edu if you'd like to right now. Otherwise, participation in both days is required in order to register for classes, so you should plan to be at orientation on day 1 from around 12:30 to 5:30 p.m., and then some students will have required meetings in the evening as well. And then on day 2, you should expect to be orientation from 8 a.m. until about 1:30 p.m. So we've designed our orientation program in transition to the university with knowledge around what it takes to be a successful student at Iowa. So just breaking that down into 3 parts. Our program is designed to, 1, teach you about the academic and advising structure at the University of Iowa and allow you to work one-on-one with your academic advisor to register for your first semester of classes. 2, introduce you to the mission statement for students, so the Iowa Challenge, and help you understand what's expected of you as a student. And then number 3 would be to just connect you to campus resources that'll help you succeed and also connect you with other students in your class. So orientation is also designed to connect you, like we said, with a lot of campus resources and help you meet people that can help you be successful. So you'll have a lot of opportunities to meet with offices, learn from previous students who've been successful, and also connect with your fellow classmates. The first day of orientation is beginning at 12:30 p.m. with our welcome and wrapping up around 5:30 p.m. with a joint session with your parents and family. You may also have, again, those additional required meetings on day 1, but that's pretty much what it looks like. And then while we do spend a lot of time helping you understand the academic structure of the university and its resources, there's also time to relax and get to know your classmates through a friendly game of volleyball or a float in the lazy river in our beautiful campus recreation and wellness center, or you can definitely go down and make some crafts and play games during our late night event in the residence halls. So just remember to bring comfortable clothing or a swimsuit so that you can enjoy those activities on day 1. Students can also spend the night for free in one of our residence halls, and this is a great way to meet your classmates and get a feel for what living in the residence hall is like. So definitely sign up for overnights. That can be done during your orientation reservation, or if you just want to call our office, you can go ahead and sign up that way. And this is one of the things that students say they love most about our orientation, so definitely consider doing it. Then on day 2, you'll be learning more about those academic resources, meeting one-on-one with your advisor to finalize your course schedule and register for classes. And you'll also spend time exploring campus, interacting with other offices, and just getting to know your classmates more. And again, day 2 will start at 8 a.m. and your Hawkeye guide will make sure that you know where to report to on that second day. And then you should plan to be in your program until about 1:30 p.m. You'll also, you'll leave with your class schedule and you'll hopefully feeling very prepared to be a Hawkeye in the fall. So before school starts, we hope that you leave orientation really excited for classes, but you can definitely still use this as a resource once it's over. So keep in touch with your Hawkeye guide or your academic advisor if you need to. Your academic advisor is going to be a continuous support as you can adjust your schedule, or if you decide you want to change something before the semester begins or after classes have begun. Definitely keep in contact with them. And then also don't forget that you need to purchase or rent your textbooks and prepare for classes. And you also want to make sure that you've confirmed your living details. So if you're on or off campus, take care of where you'll be parking, where you'll be eating, that type of thing. You'll be introduced to these resources at our information fair during orientation. Or if you have questions about strategies for this, you can definitely ask your Hawkeye guide during the orientation program. So after orientation, make sure you're continuing with the Success at Iowa course. Stage 2, the prepare part, will open on July 1st, and stage 3, the discover part, will open on August 1st. Stages 1, 2, and 3 are due August 15th, the week before classes begin, and you must complete each stage by earning at least 80% of the quizzes before you can move on to the next stage. And then the last 2 stages open once classes have started, and you'll complete the course in the first 5 weeks of the fall semester. And if at any point in class you have questions, you can always contact Orientation Services for help. And your Hawkeye guide is also a great resource, so definitely contact them. They're always happy to help. Okay, so next, preparing for your return to Iowa City is important because it will definitely come fast. If you're living on campus, University and Housing and Dining will assign you a date for move-in, and you can arrange an early move-in date if you need to for a per-day additional cost. So watch out for that date. Once you arrive on campus and get settled into your housing, make sure you head to the Iowa Memorial Union to check in for the On Iowa program. You'll receive your full schedule for the week of programs, as well as all the swag you can wear, like your class t-shirt to take the Block I photo on the field in Kinnick Stadium. But as far as On Iowa goes, the program begins on Friday, August 17th, and you'll start by attending a lecture and an academic open house. You'll learn campus traditions and opportunities to get involved on campus, explore Iowa City, be welcomed to campus during convocation, the President's Block Party. So those are all really great things, and I even met some of my best friends during it, so definitely attend that. And then class will begin on Monday, August 20th, and you'll be ready to start as a Hawkeye. But yeah, that's all we have for you today, and we want to answer any questions you have about orientation and transitioning to the university. So at this time, we will field questions from the chat, so send us any questions you have. Okay, so our first question is, will parents be with students when they meet their advisor and pick classes?
Okay, so Parents are not with their students when they register for classes. Parents have their separate program, so you will split ways during the day, but you are in really good hands. Our Hawkeye guides will help you go through the process, talk through you with classes and what your major is, and kind of help you outline what you're going to go in with, and then your advisor will help set you up with classes. But you can make changes after you leave orientation. So nothing is set in stone once you leave. You can look it over. Your advisors know what they're doing. They'll help you through the process. But then if you come home and you're like, man, I really doesn't sit well with me, you can still make changes until the 6th day of classes. So you'll be in good hands, but no, the parents are not with their student.
Okay, our next question is, what should we bring with us to orientation? Yeah, I guess.
One, a smile. We want you to have a ton of fun with us. But two, I would say, again, just like some casual clothes to be able to go to the rec at night, or if you know you're going to go to late night activities in general, just bring something to where you can wear to that. So if you want to swim, bring a swimsuit. But then also make sure you bring
your Hawkeye Dean password.
Yeah, okay.
So that when you register, that'll just make things easy when we're navigating the site with your Hawkeye guide. So make sure you have that with you.
Test it out before you come. Make sure you know the password.
Otherwise, just anything else you would maybe bring. So, you know, your wallet, keys, maybe a little snack.
If you're staying overnight, bring things that you would need for overnight. But we do have like pillows and blankets in the residence halls for you, so you don't have to worry about that.
Great. Okay, do you get a student ID at orientation? Yes, so you'll pick up your Iowa 1 card, and that'll be, is that going to be in the basement still?
Yeah, it should be.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll let you know when you come where to pick that up, but that's where you're taking your photo ahead of time before you come, and then you'll just, once you're here, you'll just pick it up, and then you'll have the card, and that's it.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, is there an app for phones? Yes. The short. That's so, let's see, what's it gonna? Not for orientation. Okay, so not for orientation programs. When you come to check-in, we'll give you a printout schedule of everything. But for the On Iowa program, there will be an app for that you can download through Hawk Tools, I believe. Okay, can we bring our own laptop to register for classes? You really don't need to. Your advisor will have everything set up for you. So, I mean, if you just want to keep that at home and keep it, you know.
Yeah. And you'll be in a computer lab with other students, so the computers will already be there. So honestly, if you put your computer in front of a computer, it might be really bulky too. So we'll supply computers for you. Don't gotta worry about that.
Let's see.
For Success at Iowa.
Yeah. Do you know the quiz? Quiz 1.
It's over the modules that they'll watch.
Okay.
And it appears once they've been through all the modules.
Okay. So as far as what is the quiz in stage 1, it's just going to be over those modules that you watch, and it'll come up directly after you watch those modules. So I'm not exactly sure what the content is, but if you follow the steps, you should be fine. Okay. If I've already talked to the ASL coordinator, should I still talk to you for placement scheduling?
If they already have a test set up, then no, they don't have to.
Okay. If you already have a test set up, then you don't have to. Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Are we being paired with random people in the dorm if we're doing the overnight option? So actually, when you go to the residence hall, you just stand next to the person that you're going to room with. So it could be random, but if you need somebody orientation or have somebody you already want to room with, you guys can just stand next to each other.
You guys can just go together.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Okay. What should we do before orientation to prepare for picking classes?
Honestly, so I came as an open major, so I did absolutely nothing, and I was perfectly fine. So don't feel like you need to do a ton of crazy prep. If you are a planner and you want to go ahead and look through your degree audit, or you want to look into classes that the university offers, you're more than welcome to do that. You can search for courses online, but your advisors spend a lot of time before you come outlining what you have done, what you might want to do, and setting up plans for you ahead of time. So you don't have to put too much stress into coming here. You can, but you don't have to, so don't feel like you need to do anything to prepare.
Okay, how many students are typically at each orientation session? That's That's a good question.
400, yeah.
Yeah, around 400 students. Okay, how do we sign up for placement tests? So you just take those.
Yeah, so you can go onto the orientation website, so newstudents.uiowa.edu, and there'll be a link that says placement test, so you can find them in there.
Where do we go on campus to start orientation? So yeah, you're just going to check in between 10:30 and noon that first day, and you'll go into the Iowa Memorial Union. So that's our big IMU building.
There'll be people directing you.
Yeah. Are there many required courses everyone has to take to graduate? So yeah, within your degree audit, you'll kind of have it split up between your general education courses, which I think is being called core now, and then also your major requirements. And so that really varies for everybody, but you have to have 120 semester hours to graduate.
That can change depending on your major, but
yeah, roughly that. So it really depends on everybody, and your advisor will have that laid out for you.
Mm-hmm. That'll all be answered.
Yes. What do you recommend for introverted, shy people to try and get to know people better?
This is a great question.
Yeah.
I love this question. So orientation is the time to do that. I think we set up these late night activities hoping that people will come out and meet people. So if you know you play sports, you like to play sports, you can come out to the rec. Even if you don't, I don't play sports, but you can go and you can mess around there, meet people, or the late night activities in the residence hall as well. We designed those so people come down, they talk, you can just hang loose, have a good time. So just make sure you check those activities out to find somebody. And then once you're here too, it's super easy to get involved. So just make sure you're getting involved on campus, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah, I know it can be kind of overwhelming at first. So, I mean, just, say hi to the person next to you. When you get in your group, just participate in icebreakers or get to know people around you. That's just going to make it, a lot easier and help you meet some people before classes even start. Is there a deadline for the placement test?
You should take it 2 weeks before orientation.
Okay, ideally you would be taking that at least 2 weeks before orientation so that we have all of your scores in. So I would try and do it before then. Will there be someone at orientation to talk to us about parking for students on campus and getting passes? Yes, you will be getting passes during our check-in process, so that will be covered.
As far as parking on campus during the school year, we don't recommend that students bring cars, especially in your first year, just because our campus is so small, and you'll see that when you come. But our parking office does come to the info fair. They still will, correct? Parking's still going to come to the info fair, right?
Yes.
Okay, so our parking office will still come, so you can ask them any questions you might have. They can help you, and we do have a hawk lot on campus, but it's about 40 minutes by bus away. It is secure, and you can park your cars there if you know you're not going to use them too often. But again, in your first year, it might just be more of a hassle to have a car than it will be to be helpful. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't think that was the correct question.
Okay.
Okay, can you declare a minor when you register for classes?
We typically make them wait, right?
You have to wait till the first day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to wait till the first day of classes to declare a minor, but that's super easy. I like that you're planning that ahead of time, but you have 4 years too. So we can make sure you get settled once you're here on campus and all settled. You can declare that minor and start looking into what you need for that.
Yes. What's the info fair? Good question. So yeah, that's going to be right at the end of day 2. At the end of your program is the last thing you'll do. And we have this huge ballroom set up with all of the different campus resources. Student involvement is also there. So we have literally different booths for different organizations, financial, like all that stuff will be there. So you can just walk around each booth and get information or talk to whoever you need to.
Mm-hmm.
How can we tell which placement tests we need to take?
I would say depending on your major, if you know, like if you're a science major, you're going to need a chemistry and a math. You can look at your degree audit, and that will kind of outline the type of courses you're looking at needing to take, and you can have a better idea from there.
Yeah.
Check the website. It's got a list.
Oh yes, and also check our website because it has a list of the majors so that you for each test. And yeah, otherwise just call our office if you want personalized feedback. Okay, can I apply for a minor or certificate my first semester? Yes, you can definitely start minoring or taking classes in your certificate your first semester. How does signing up for classes work? Yeah, so you'll be going through this program called Schedule Builder with your advisor one-on-one, and they will show you how it works. So will your Hawkeye guide, but they will help you with that registration process. So don't worry about that. That'll be all taken care of for you. Are parents able to eat meals with us?
They can this year,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
It's provided for students, but parents will have to pay.
Okay.
And then they'll be done by around lunchtime on day 2, so they can eat together then too.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, so dinner on the first day is covered for students in our residence halls, and your parents are welcome to join you. They will have to pay some, I don't know, if it's like $10.50 to have a meal with you. Otherwise, day 2, you will you'll be let out before lunch, so you can just get lunch together then.
Breakfast is provided.
Yes, and breakfast is also provided that second day, and you can eat together. Okay, do you need placement tests for general education if it's not your major?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I would say probably not. If you're looking to take a high-level math class or a high-level science for your general education area, then maybe, but most likely you won't need it for the general education area.
Okay, is there a club rush type of week during the beginning of this year to help us get affiliated with the different student orgs? Yes, there is. It's actually called the Pick One Expo, and then depending on the weather, it's either in the Hubbard Park area or it's in the Iowa Memorial Union, and that is, again, is going to be set up booth style where you can go around, find your email address on anything you're interested in joining, but that's a super great way to get involved early on, so definitely recommend going to that. I was told that all freshmen need to take a math placement test. Is this correct?
That's not something we require, right?
Not necessarily. It really depends on your major.
Okay.
So again, not necessarily. It's all major dependent. If you are a math major, then yes, you need to take it. But if you're not looking into the maths and sciences, again, check your degree audit to make sure. But most of the maths and sciences are really what you would need that for.
Right.
That's a top question.
Okay.
What? Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a scheduled time to meet with our academic advisor? If so, when do we find this out? Yes, you will. During your program, you will get a scheduled time to meet with your academic advisor, and your Hawkeye guide will explain that to you during day 1 before the afternoon when that happens. Okay. When is the expo? Yeah, is it this?
It depends. Once you're on campus again and once you attend on Iowa, and especially if you're living in the residence halls, it'll all be so clear as day out there that you will know. There'll be posters everywhere. You're on Iowa Leaders, I'm sure will tell you, and you'll just see it everywhere that something's going to go on. So just be looking out for it once you're on campus because the date might change. So just check that out.
Where can we check our degree audit? Yeah, so if you go to myui.uiowa.edu, log in, it'll be one of the tabs. It'll say degree audit. I think it has like a little check mark in it, and you can go to that, and that'll have everything for you. So myui. How long on average do the placement tests take, and how many are there in total? Yeah, so they range.
The ALEKS test takes 90 minutes.
Okay, the ALEKS test does take 90 minutes.
That's the math placement test.
That's the math placement test.
The chemistry test takes 90 minutes.
And the chemistry placement test also takes 90 minutes.
World language tests online take 20 minutes or so.
Okay, world language tests online take about 20 minutes or so.
The ones in person range from 45 minutes to 75 minutes.
Okay, and the ones in person for those tests are going to range between 45 minutes and 90 minutes. Yes. Yeah, roughly. And then how many are there in total? I mean,
there's chemistry, math, and then the world languages, and that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's actually 3 types of math.
Oh yeah, there's 2 types of math too, because if you test out of the one, you have to do calculus.
If you've taken calculus in high school, you have a different test than if you haven't.
Okay.
So if you've taken calculus in high school, there's going to be a different test for you. So just check that out.
Will someone walk with us to places like our meeting with our advisor, or are we just supposed to find it? Yes, definitely. Your Hawkeye guide will be walking you to places so you don't get lost or feel overwhelmed. So don't worry about that. If we were majoring in history, would we only have to take the language placement test if we haven't completed our 4 years? Yes. The short answer there.
If they haven't taken 4 years, they're going to need to complete the 4th level.
Oh, yes. Yeah, if you haven't taken 4 years in high school, then you will have to complete that 4th year here at some point.
So if they want to take the same language, they have to take the test.
Right. Yeah. So again, does everyone have to take a language? If you didn't take 4 years in high school, that would require the general education requirement here, then you would have to take it here. Yeah, definitely send us more questions if you need to, if you have any. can I still minor in ASL if I have to take my 4th year at Iowa first? Oh, yes, you should be able to. Yeah, you would just finish out, or you would just continue. You would build upon your skills that you already had. So that's definitely possible. You can work with your advisor on that. Do we not have to take the chemistry or math placement test if we are a history major? Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say no.
Check your degree audits, and that will tell you if you need math or science or any of those things. So.
Okay.
What if I took language in the middle?
I'm answering now.
Okay. Do you have to be on a special track to study abroad? No. Anybody can study abroad, any major, no matter what.
Our study abroad office is a room just full of binders and binders and binders and binders, and there's like academic advisors for studying abroad as well. So just make sure you go in and talk to people in that office, and they will help you find a way to get wherever you want to go, however you want to get there. So they're extremely helpful, so just stop into that office when you're on campus and do it earlier rather than later, and they can help you design any type of plan of study.
Is the math placement test required for business-related majors? I would say yes, because you're taking statistics courses, that type of thing. So it would probably be good to take that math placement in your case. Does studying abroad set back your graduation dates? And no, it doesn't have to. If you work that out with your advisor, they can explain to you, what that looks like. And also sometimes you can take credits while you're studying abroad. And so that'll just count towards your Iowa credits, and it'll all work out that way.
Again, best advice is getting in earlier rather than later. If you show up second semester, senior year, like it might throw off your graduation date. But if you're going in first semester as a first year student, they're going to really be able to help you a lot more and a lot better. So just make sure you're stepping into that office right away.
Yeah. What is the most common meal plan for freshmen? So
I would say you really got to know yourself best. I got unlimited because I know I like to eat at really random times and 8 times a day or none. So it just really depends on the student. Just ask your parents, how much do I eat? They'll tell you honestly. You can kind of outline from there what you think you might need.
Yeah, and I had the black plan, I believe, but that was just because a lot of times I would just take a granola bar and eat that as breakfast, and so I only needed those 2 meals for that day anyways. So yeah, again, just know your eating habits, and you can change your plan within, ever, or is it just the first couple weeks?
I know you can.
Yeah, so don't worry.
At least that semester,
if
at the end of the first semester you're like, this really didn't work, reevaluate too. You still have time.
Yeah. What is it like to be an RA?
Neither of us are resident assistants, so we might not exactly know, but I've heard really wonderful things.
Yeah.
RAs are really great people, so they plan a lot of events for their floors. If you don't know, resident assistants live on the floor with you, and they'll plan events and kind of make your transition a lot easier. But when you're on campus, feel free to ask people, and ask your own RA once you're on campus too. They'll be able to give you a better view of that.
Yeah. Okay, if you take a placement test, you have to,
Okay.
Never mind. If you're considering studying abroad, what year would you recommend studying abroad?
It's up to you.
It really is up to you. As long as you're planning for it, you can do it whenever you want. You can do it in the summer, the winter, any of the semesters. So yeah, just go in and talk to them, and they'll be able to help pick out programs for you. Okay, how did orientation benefit you when you were incoming freshman?
Whoa, I love that question.
I like these. And
do you want to go?
Yeah, so orientation, I think it was just nice to be, so like when you're visiting, sometimes you're just in a smaller group, and I don't know, when you're in orientation, like this is your class, and this is, some of the people that you're going to be with. And so it was super great to not only have a Hawkeye guide who was able to like be personable and like tell you, more about the campus, but also to like get to know some of your fellow peers. And I also spent an overnight in the residence hall with my roommate, and that was awesome experience, because I think it's a little nerve-wracking to like, be in a residence hall, but that definitely helped ease my nerves there. So
I loved it also. I came here and then knew right away I wanted to be a Hawkeye guide myself. So that was a really cool experience, and both my brothers went here, so I thought I already knew everything, and then you come and realize you know nothing. So that was really cool, and having a Hawkeye guide as a student, you can get a lot of really great student experiences from them. So it's a really great experience. You're going to have a ton of fun, I promise.
Are there a lot of activities within the residence halls? So there's always a weekly event planned by one RA, I'm pretty sure, in all of the buildings.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's campus-wide events as well through our campus activities board, and that's for, everybody. But your residence halls will plan activities at least once a week for you.
And there'll be lots of flyers and stuff to see what's going on in your specific building.
What's one piece of advice you wish you knew?
I love this question.
Yeah, let me think about that.
Well, I'm a senior, so I think this question really hits home for me as I approach the end here. But I think my one piece of advice for you, as you're coming into college, is just to like take your time and respect the process, because a lot of things in your life are about to change, and not in a scary way, in a really, really great way. You're about to attend the greatest school in the nation, so like be excited, but just know that like things are going to change for you. So take your time as you transition, and same with the families. Allow the students to take their time as they transition, because you might stop talking to people from home, but gain a lot of friends here. So things will be different, but it's a good difference. So just respect that. Take your time. You're doing great. I already know it.
Yeah, no, I also think the taking your time thing is great. Everybody deals with transition in their own way. So maybe getting involved right away is super great for you, because that's what helps you, combat homesickness. But you don't have to be involved in everything right away. If you need to take a breather, you can try different clubs. You don't have to stay with them. You don't have to be also like fitting a mold that you were in high school, maybe. So you can definitely branch out. And just, learning to be yourself is one of the best things of college, I think, and finding, what makes you tick and what you like. So yeah, just have an open mind and get ready for the best 4 years. Sorry. What is your favorite place to study on campus?
Okay, top secret. I've never told anyone this because I don't want people to show up, but since I'm graduating, y'all can come now. But actually, the bio building on campus, when you come, ask your Hawkeye guides, they'll be able to show you. But our bio building, it's like right across from our Capitol. They have a greenhouse on the roof, and there's some really cool koi fish in there, and just like palm trees and a bunch of really cool stuff that you wouldn't normally see in Iowa. And I like to go up there because it's really quiet. Not a lot of people know that there's benches up there, so I study in there.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I have a few. Iowa Memorial Union is great, especially during finals week, because they have a bunch of snacks. So definitely go there for that. Otherwise, for just normal studying, I really like Voxman Music Building. It's super pretty, super nice in there. It's pretty much brand new, and so that's just a really nice place to go. And they have a nice like outdoor area for studying. I also like the Adler Journalism Building because I'm a journalism major, and that building is super nice with some good views too.
Lots of TVs.
Yeah. What are some student organizations that you guys have liked and would recommend joining?
I would say just go with your gut. So my first year, I literally put my name down on every single piece of paper there was. I got so many emails. I tried to get a new email address. Like it was that many. But I played hockey my first year, and like obviously you can't really see me, but I don't have the body to play hockey. So it was kind of hilarious, but it allowed me to branch out and like take a lot of risks that I wouldn't have normally taken. So it doesn't really matter what you have done. If you think something looks cool, just sign up. Honestly, you'll learn a lot about yourself by just getting involved in everything you can. But again, if that's not you, don't feel like you have to do that. I felt like I had to do it, so I just did. But obviously, as you grow older, you kind of go down to only the student orgs that you feel like you really are invested in. So throughout your time, you'll kind of learn about yourself and what you want to stay in.
Yeah, and going along with that, on-campus employment is also a great way to meet friends. I met some of my best friends through being on-campus employment, and it's great because you're making money as well. So definitely, attend our job fairs, and just if you're looking for a job, that's a great way to meet people as well as, build your resume and skills and stuff. Do either of you participate in honors? What is it like? So
I do not.
Yeah, I'm not currently in honors either.
My roommate is, and it's not any more difficult. If you're an honors student, you're still going to be in similar classes. You might just have a few different assignments. And there is a really cool, honor students can move into our residence halls even before on Iowa, and they get to do you can take a class before you come, and it's just a really neat program. But as far as honors goes, yeah, there's sometimes papers for the end to make sure you get honors. So when you come, honors will be at orientation. You can ask them questions as well.
And even if you're not honors your first semester, you can qualify with a certain GPA. It's like a 3.5 for the teens list. So you can always opt into honors as well. Are there jobs on campus available for freshmen that don't interfere too much with our coursework? Yes, so all on-campus jobs are super great about working around your class schedule. So I know like in mine right now, they're very flexible. I'm able to almost choose my hours because they know I'm a student and that coursework comes first. So on-campus employment's great.
and you can't work more than 20 hours in a week as a first-year student. So my first year, I actually worked 3 jobs for the university, and all 3 worked together to make sure my hours didn't go over, because they know you're a student first, and that's why we recommend student offices on campus a lot more. Or even like I worked at the hospital my first year, that's still considered a student job. And that's why we recommend that more, because they know you're a student first.
What's your favorite club or activity at Iowa?
No favorite clubs. Everything's wonderful. It's the greatest school in the nation.
Yeah.
So everything here is great.
Yeah, everything. I don't know if I should.
I mean, my favorite activity is, probably football games. But even if you don't I hated football when I came, and it's amazing. It's the coolest experience in your life. So even if you just go to one game, you got to go to at least one game.
Yes.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, the experience is really cool. So. Are non-official sports very intense?
Great question. So as I mentioned, I played hockey here. I also played tennis and soccer for a quick semester. No, you can play intramurals. Those are super casual, and some intramurals even have like an A team, a B team, and like a BBB team, where like you don't have to try it all, and that's super fun. So it's really up to you. Our club sports they're usually tryouts, and there's usually practice dates. So that's a little bit different, and those are taken a little bit more serious. But again, it depends on the sport you get involved with. So when you come on campus, they'll most likely be at the getting involved fair as well. So ask the people at the booth, and they'll be honest with you of what you can expect for each sport. But if you just want to play, like relax, check out intramurals, there's a ton, including Quidditch. So there's something for everybody.
Yes. What is the Wellness Center like? Wellness Center is iconic.
That was the best answer. Yeah.
So it's so great. There's 3 floors, so much equipment. There's a track, there's weights, there's a pool, there's a rock climbing wall. It's really great. And
there's something for everybody.
Number 3 in the nation. So you got to check it out at orientation.
Well worth it. And there's a lot of pools. If you're into swimming, we have 2 Olympic swimming pools. So there's one is a like lap pool, and the other one's a diving pool. When you come on campus, actually, we do an activity where you can go in like inflatables in the pool. So that's super cool. So definitely check it out. It's well worth it.
Yeah, there's also a hot tub and a lazy river in the like leisure pool.
Let me know how the schools have that. Amazing.
So is the dining hall food good?
Yeah, I think so.
I enjoyed it. Okay, the burger bar was like my favorite thing. The choose your own burger.
They have salmon and birds. Okay, salmon, people. Like your first year students eating salmon. Let me know, but it's well worth it. I'm a senior and I still get meal plans. I get flex swipes so I can go in if I'm having a busy day. So yeah, it's good. They change the menu often, so you're not like, when I came in, I expected to have like grilled cheese and fries every day, but I had salmon. So like clearly it wasn't grilled cheese and fries every day.
And the new residence hall, Catlit, has an amazing dining hall. I've gotten to that a couple of times, and it's really great.
And they are vegetarian and vegan friendly. So just ask if you have any questions with that.
How difficult is freshman year at Iowa compared to high school coursework? Great question. I think that really varies on what your high school experience was like. So if you were taking a bunch of AP courses, or maybe you had more rigorous classes, I don't know. I feel like everyone's experience is a little different with that.
Yeah. For me, it was a huge difference. I'm from a very small town, so like my high school experience was very different, but it was kind of a huge gap. But luckily for me, Iowa provides a lot of help for their students. So we have supplemental instruction, which is like a student who's taken the class before you kind of teaches you the material. So that helped me a lot with coming in and wanting to be in a science major. I was able to get a lot of help with like chem or math courses, because I'm not always quick on my feet with those. So there's a ton of help available. So if that's something you're worried about, talk to your Hawkeye guide or talk to somebody at orientation. Even if you see one of us, come up and talk to us, and we'll be able to help you with supplemental instruction and what that's kind of like. But it might be difficult for you to transition, so don't be scared of that. It's difficult for everybody when they come, but you'll get used to it.
I think another thing is to ask questions of your professor and go to office hours, because I think in high school, or at least, for me, it was like you never wanted to ask questions, you didn't want to be that kid. But now it's so great to ask questions and to go to office hours, because that can really help your grade and just, boost your relationship with your professor. So, what on-campus jobs have you guys done and enjoyed? Oh, well,
I work here.
yeah, this one's great. I also work at the Pomerantz Career Center as a career peer advisor, and that's been really fun. I assist students with their resumes and cover letters, and it also helps with like my own professional development. So I've loved that. I worked for information technology services as a marketing intern. So that's cool. I like that experience, but yeah, I think student employment is great.
Yeah.
Experiences. How did you get a job at the hospital?
Great question. My brothers worked there, so I had a little connection there. But if you are coming here and are interested in working in the hospital, depending on what you want to work with, again, come here and talk to the volunteer people at the hospital. They're super helpful, and they'll kind of get you a foot in the door. And then depending on what you want to do at the hospital, it can be really competitive. Obviously, it's what we're known for. So just, it can be competitive, but I had a foot in the door, so I was lucky.
Yeah. Have you done Dance Marathon? If so, how was it?
You have, right?
No, I
Okay.
haven't. Yeah.
My roommate was on exec for Dance Marathon. It's life-changing. So I highly recommend you do it within your 4 years here. It's a really, really cool experience. So I highly recommend you get involved. Just, it's life-changing. That's all I can say.
Is it hard to find time to use the rec center? So actually what you'll find when you register for courses is that maybe you just have 2 classes a day, which is super different from like maybe an 8 to 3 p.m. schedule in high school. So you can definitely find time to use the rec, and it's also just about prioritizing it, maybe, you know, going with a friend to keep each other accountable or whatever. But you can definitely find time to go.
They host classes and stuff as well. So if you're like, if that's something that will help you get on a better schedule, that helped me when I first came, was my roommate, and I actually took some classes together, which was super funny of us, but yeah, that helps.
What are your majors? Great question. I'm a journalism and mass communications major, and also a gender, women's, and sexuality studies major.
I'm geoscience. I study rocks, so super nerdy.
Thanks for asking. Is living by yourself as terrifying as they say?
I don't think so. I loved it. It created a lot of independence for me. And again, as you branch out, you'll make a ton of friends, and you'll most likely have friends in your room at all times. My roommate now never leaves me alone, but I love her, so it's okay. But no, I liked it.
Yeah, I like it too. I think kind of it might be depending on like maybe you share a room at home or something. It could be a transition, but you'll learn to love it. So, are office hours easy to use? Do they usually overlap with classes? So yeah, even if you're like, let's say you have office hours in one class, but it's during another class's time, you can work with your professor to schedule an appointment like when it works for you. So don't worry about that. And yeah, you just show up.
Yeah, they're super easy. A lot of the professors that I've had, I've got to know really well and personally because I showed up to office hours. And it never hurts to know people here as far as letters of recommendations go. And then this past semester, I actually got to do research with a professor, so that was super neat. I just saw her in the hallway a bunch. Was like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? And she's like, you should do research with me. And now I get to put that on a resume, so that was super cool, and I learned a lot.
Yeah. Have either of you experienced Greek life? Yeah, so I was in Greek life for about 2 years, and I really liked it for the time that I was in it. Recruitment was awesome because I got to meet a bunch of people, but after that, you know, it wasn't for me anymore. But I really liked it, and I met some really good people in it. I just kind of got busy with other things, but yeah.
My brother was in a fraternity, and he really loved it here as well. And he still hangs out with 2 of his best friends are actually from the fraternity, so he had a good experience with that part of Greek life as well.
Do you have to have any volunteer work or involvement to be able to work or volunteer at the hospital?
It depends. When you come here, they'll just check out the volunteers table at the getting involved fair. They'll be there because that's a big part of our campus. So make sure you just talk to them. They'll be able to help answer those questions. I don't want to give you a wrong answer on that, so just make sure you talk to somebody there.
What dorms have you lived in, and what are your opinions about them?
Everything's beautiful.
Yes. I lived in Quad, which is RIP. It's been torn down since then. But I had a great time in Quad, and I met some of my best friends in it.
I lived in Burge, which is on the east side. I absolutely loved it. I actually had a teacher in high school who lived there, so we bonded about it all the time. But it doesn't matter where you live on campus. Like, you're going to have a really great experience, and like you get to make it your own wherever you go. So it's super neat, and like you're going to love it. I promise. Like, no matter where you are, it's a really great experience. Everybody says that their residence hall is the best residence hall.
Yeah.
Like, I think Burge was the best residence hall on campus, but she thinks it was Quad because she lived there. So you'll have fun.
Okay. How often should we study versus play?
I mean, it depends on you as a student. I know that like I have to work very hard in my classes, so like I got to set a lot more time apart for studying. And actually studying versus watching Netflix for 8 hours like I did yesterday. So like that just really depends on the person.
Yeah, you really learn time management in college. So, I mean, I think it was easy. So, like my first semester, I didn't have class until 11 a.m. And so I thought, oh, I can sleep in because I don't have to be up at 8 a.m. like in high school. No, you need to get up and maybe study and be productive. And now I'm a morning person, so that's great. But you'll find out what works for you.
It might take you a semester, so again, just be patient with yourself as you're learning that. But and don't compare yourself to like your roommate or other people. I made that mistake where I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta be studying. Erica's studying, I gotta study. Like it's not like that. Take your time. You know you best.
Yeah. How many classes do you suggest per semester? Yeah, so we suggest anywhere between 12 to 18 semester hours, I think.
15 to 16, basically, yeah. Like 15 to 17, and then 15 is average for our students. So that lines up to be like 3 or 4 classes, which doesn't sound like a lot when you're coming from high school and you're in classes from 8 to 4. You might have 2 to 3 classes a day, but again, it's at a different pace than what your high school courses are at, and that's why there's so much free time in there, and you'll find a lot of ways to fill it very quickly.
Right. Oh yeah, and 12 is just to be considered a full-time student for like financial aid purposes. Okay, do you guys know anything about SALT and Company or what it's like? Yeah, I've never personally been in SALT, but I believe they have an event like the first week of classes. So you can definitely check that out and get to know what they're all about. I think they do like a free pizza thing maybe during that week. So there's always free food during that week, so just go and check them out. Are there any classes or teachers you didn't like?
I think it's dependent on you again. You might have classes that aren't your strong suit that you feel differently about, but I think that's just something that you need to experience and we need to let you experience. So
yeah, definitely. And like my major classes, I love them. And that's kind of how you know you're in the right major too. So it might be hard work, but if you're doing what you love, it's not awful. Would you recommend a quad room over a standard double? Well, yeah, I think
it's up to you.
I think it's up to you because some of those have like shared bathrooms and stuff. I almost did that, but then I ended up going with a standard double, and that was fine as well. I think any experience is what you make it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think you know you best, so that might be more people too. So just keeping in mind how many people you want to live with. You're going to meet a lot of people regardless. I lived in a double and had a really, really great experience, and I'm actually still like best friends with my roommate, so it's a great experience.
Where do you think the best food is at Iowa?
This is a wonderful question because luckily we're graced with a lot of local restaurants. So there's millions of places to get wonderful food. It just depends what you like. So you'll find it once you're on campus too, that there's a lot to eat downtown. So just check everything out is my recommendation. I know that on Iowa, we do like different crawls. So there's a dessert crawl where you can try like Molly's Cupcakes, for example. And then there's a pizza crawl and a coffee crawl, and you can check out all the different places for free. So definitely take advantage of that, and you'll kind of be able to find your favorite places from there.
And what's so nice is you could be in Schaefer Hall 1 minute and then cross the street and you're in the pedestrian hall, like right where Shorts Burgers is. So super great. Definitely check out the pedestrian mall because they have awesome food. Is having a super nice computer important? No, it's just whatever works for you, honestly. And you can also rent them out, or they have, you can rent them out from the library, and they also just have computers at the library that you can use. So yeah.
Our tech department actually doesn't recommend that if you're a PC user, you change to a Mac or make any huge changes in your first semester, because trying to accommodate to that and change to that might really mess with you. So I recommend, like, I was a PC user, I stayed with PC. If she's a Mac user, just stay with the Mac. Like, keep what you have. Just if you got a good thing, don't change it. You're doing great.
What is campus life like on the weekend besides football? Yeah, so our campus activities board puts on awesome Thursday night. Like they have movies, I went to roller skate night once. They have just like the most fun events that you can go to with your friends, and that's a super great way to meet first years. So I definitely would recommend doing that.
There's always something going on campus. There'll be little like fold outs on the T.N. Cleary walkway. So when you're walking around campus, it'll be everywhere. And especially if you're in residence halls, there's going to be posters everywhere for any event that's going on campus. So it's super easy to find stuff to get involved in or to even go to. So just check that out.
Yeah. Where are you from? Where do most students come from? Yeah, I'm from Decorah, Iowa. So it's about 2.5 hours from here, northeastern Iowa, smallish town.
I'm from Ingleside, Illinois, so it's a small town on the Wisconsin border. It's 4 hours away from here. And then it says like where are most students from? Iowa and Illinois, I'd say.
Yeah.
I like to say it's a mini Chicago suburb because there is a lot of people from Illinois here. But I had 3 students from my high school come here, and I barely see any of them. So don't worry about that if that's something you're worried about. But
yeah, and also like you meet people from everywhere too.
Yeah.
So like I have a lot of Chicago friends. Like I also have people from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Missouri, California, international students.
Yeah, you'll meet a lot
So,
of people.
yeah, that's a super fun part too of college. Is there anywhere that's open 24/7 to study? Yes.
Yes, I know the Iowa Memorial Union actually, and then parts of the library are open. So if you go to our new students webpage, there's actually a filter that you can look at different study rooms, and then you can click on it by what's open 24/7, and that's a pretty neat way to find different places on campus as well.
Does the Wellness Center have a smoothie place? Yes, and it's so good.
It's
You have to go
life-changing.
there. Some people just go to get the smoothies and they don't work out. You can definitely do that. And do you have to make dairy-free smoothies? I bet they would.
Probably,
Yeah,
probably,
I think they have like, alternatives to milk options you can put in there. So, but you can always ask when you get here. Have you ever been to a musical put on by campus students? If so, how were they?
Yes, I have. Great question.
Okay.
Our arts department is awesome. They're really, really great. My brother's roommate actually put on a show, and it was really wonderful. It was a lot of fun. It was $5 for us to go, so it's super cheap. And sometimes too, like knowing the director, like we actually got him for free, so don't tell anyone. But you can for sure go and check those out. There's always something going on art-wise too in Iowa City. That's what we're very lucky for. So I recommend you check it out. If you know people, that's helpful. If not, I'm sure you can check out their website, and it'll tell you what plays are going on. And after class at UIowa, I think it still is, that'll tell you what's going on around campus as well. So the after class website, check that out too.
Yeah, I've also been to like the dance performances that the dance department puts on, and that's also great if you're looking for something in that realm.
We also have Hancher, so we get a lot of shows off Broadway. So last year I saw the Book of Mormon, actually people from orientation. So you could check out the Hancher website as well, and that'll show you like what off Broadway shows we get, and that's super neat. And they do discounted prices for students there as well. So I got to see Book of Mormon at a student price. That's how we do it. It's pretty awesome.
So what do you prefer for transportation around campus? What is most used? So I walk everywhere, walking like a talking, but.
So we designed our campus so that everything should be a 10-minute walk away from the Capitol building, besides buildings on the west side. So that might be a little bit of a longer shot for you, but you can hop on a CAM bus. So those are free buses we offer for around campus. They're black and yellow or have pictures of the kiddos from the hospital on it. So you can see those they're pretty visible. But now as a senior, I live in an apartment on the west side. So we also have Iowa City buses or Coralville buses. So if you know you're going to be commuting from somewhere, you can get a bus pass at a student rate, or just pay $1, hop on one of those buses. So there's lots of ways to get around campus.
Yeah, I definitely use the CAM bus a lot to get from my west side dorm to the east side. Last year was like raining or something. And then also at night, when the CAM buses stop running, you can also take Night Ride, which is just a free shuttle that will take you wherever you need to go. So that's a great option if you're like walking home at night and you don't want to do that. Okay. All right. Any of those? Okay. Is it stressful to be in multiple school activities such as band, choir, athletics, and clubs?
I don't think so. Again, that's knowing your limit though. So in your first semester, I feel like it's pretty common that students overcommit to a lot of things in their first semester. But that was okay for me because I figured out what I wanted to stay involved in as I grew throughout my college experience. And now I'm just down to one student organization. So you'll kind of balance it as you go. But in your first semester, like take the time, figure out what you want to stay in, and just figure it out from there.
Yeah. Do you need a membership to access the Wellness Center? If so, how much does it cost? And it's included in your student fees. So you just scan your Iowa One card at the door and you're good to go. Should we bring a bike?
Up to you. I have a bike here. If you like to bike, you can bring it, but our campus is like 90% uphill. So keep that in mind. You're going to have huge calves, but like it's worth it. You can bring it if you want.
How long is the walk from Peterson to the Pentecost Center campus? I would say I've made it in like 15 minutes if I'm really rocking it, but it just depends.
Yeah, depends on your pace.
15, 20 minutes. Can you try out for a musical even if it's not in your major or minor? That's a good question. I
don't know.
don't know.
I imagine.
Yeah.
I think you can. I don't want to promise you that, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can. Again, when you come, just ask people. They'll be able to help you. Ask people in classes or majors.
Yeah. Where can we store our bikes? Are there bike racks?
Everywhere.
Yes, everywhere. Awesome. Okay, well, that looks like all of the questions that we've answered. So again, we're just really excited to have you become a member of the Hawkeye family. We're glad that we could assist you with any questions you had, and definitely contact us, our office, if you have any others that you can think of. But on Iowa,
Go Hawks.
And Lewis, there we go.